Hey chicos, ya estamos de vuelta en Headbangers y como era lo prometido, nuestros invitados, o sea, Iron Maiden. Thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thanks so much.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Blaze, very, the warmest welcome to Iron Maiden. It's been great, good tour so far, so good.
Yeah, it's been going fantastic. We've been out on the road for about nearly 5 months now.
Okay.
We've been all over Europe, and we've been in America for 5 months now.
You did Asia, Africa, started in Israel?
Yeah, in fact the very first show was in Jerusalem, in Israel, and then we played there, we played a couple more shows there, Tel Aviv and Haifa. Then we went down to South Africa.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
And in your case, Blaze, how's the reception of the people?
It's been great. I've had, from all the fans all over the world that we've played so far, I've had a lot of support and encouragement from everybody. So it's been fantastic, you know, everybody's just given me a very, very warm welcome. It's been really, really good.
Let's go right into what the Latin American audience want to hear. When you're going to Latin America?
We'll be, well, the tour just seems to be going on and on and on. We thought we'd be finished by May, but now everything just keeps going on. So we'll be in the South Americas, all around there, in August, at the end of August. We don't know what dates and in what countries or cities we'll be playing yet, because obviously that has to all be fitted together around, you know, what the trucks are going to do and how much gear we're taking out and all like that. But we'll definitely be there in August.
There's some rumors about like some bands going with Iron Maiden to Latin America. You don't know anything about that yet?
No, not at this time. I don't think anything's actually been confirmed yet, but they're going to lock some dates in, so we're definitely coming down there in the summertime. But yeah, I haven't heard of any other bands yet on the bill. You know?
Yeah, that's the kind of thing that we usually read about in a magazine. Oh, I didn't know we were doing that.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we heard some big names. I mean, going with Iron Maiden is going to be great. It's going to be Monsters of Rock.
Oh, well, that's the beauty of these festivals as well. You know, you have like a load of rock bands there, and just the spirit and the atmosphere. You know, the whole day of bands playing, and you know, rock fans, you know, they're just totally into it, enthusiastic, and that whole day is very good. So that kind of Monsters of Rock. It'd be a fantastic day.
Junto a Dave, junto a Blaze, vamos a ver el nuevo video, the new video from Iron Maiden, The X Factor, the second video. Esto es Lord of the Flies. Hey, seguimos en Headbangers junto a Iron Maiden. Once again, it's great to have you back on tour. It's great to have you're going to Latin America again. And let's talk about The X Factor, your new album. First thing that the people really want to know about the X Factor is like how fast Blaze got into the whole thing of Iron Maiden. For instance, you wrote a couple of songs, and even more, you wrote Man on the Edge. So how hard or how easy it was for you to get into Maiden?
We took our time over it. It was quite a natural thing really, because I said to Steve at the start, you know, is there any direction that, you know, the band is going to go in, and he said, no, look, just whatever we come up with, you know, whatever the best songs are, that's what's going to be on the album, and that's what Iron Maiden is. It doesn't matter who writes what or anything like that. And with my old band, Wolfsbane, that was in before then, I wrote all the words and melodies, so it seemed natural that if we were going to make an album together that I would write something for it. And we didn't rush anything or put any pressure on ourselves like that. We just kind of took our time, and I was very nervous at the start because I wondered if my ideas would fit in or stuff like that, but it seemed to work out really, really well, you know, quite natural. And when we were getting the arrangements together in the studio, it was really, really good.
Dave, in your case, do you feel like the Maidens feel now is like back in 1981 when Paul Di'Anno left and Dickinson got in like as a singer in Iron Maiden? Do you feel like recharged the same way you felt in 1981?
Absolutely. You know, with Blaze coming in, he's totally enthusiastic, really into the band, you know. And that does rub off, you know, reflects on the rest of the guys in the band. So it was like Bruce was leaving and it was a bit of a down time for us, but Blaze coming in just recharged it. And so really, just recording this album, we were like really excited. You know, as Blaze said earlier, it took a long time to do, but we was fired up the whole year it took to do it. You go in the studio and was really sort of animated almost about the whole thing. So yeah, having new blood in the band is definitely
that's
it definitely gives the band, you know.
What was the particular thing that you like the most about Bayley? I mean, like Blaze.
Well, apart from it's good looks. Okay. Well, the thing is, I think now we've got 5 people in the band that are, you know, all focused and you know, positive and really enjoying being in the band, enjoying playing this music and enjoying touring and the whole thing that revolve around that. So yeah, you know, Blaze coming in has definitely, you know, just lifted the thing to another level. And I think on the X Factor, you know, if you listen to Blaze's singing and you see on stage tonight, you know, he's just totally into it, and it's great because you know, so it makes, you know, the other guys in the band, you know, you look across at each other, you're playing, and it's like we're all committed and we're all having fun, you know. And I think, you know, that's what a band should be about, you know, it's like a team, you know, we're playing together.
New Blood en Iron Maiden. Y vamos a ver, nosotros estamos en el bus de tour, por eso que nosotros vamos a ver a Iron Maiden más tarde en vivo, pero por mientras ustedes van a ver el video de On the Edge, Headbangers. Hey chicos, seguimos aquí en Headbangers hablando con Iron Maiden acerca de lo que se trata X Factor. What's the meaning of X Factor? What's the meaning? Which factor is it?
Well, the term we was using while we was recording the album, in fact Steve was mentioning it, every time we record a track, we'd say, does it have the X factor? It's almost kind of like ethereal, it's something, you know, does it have that bit of magic?
Kind of unknown quantity.
That's right, yeah. So you can apply it to a lot of things, you know, you can apply it to a piece of art or anything. What does it do for you? And so each track is like, does it have that fire? Is it, you know, and the groove, the sound and everything. And the X Factor, you know, just kept coming up in this term. We thought it was a good, great name for an album.
Yeah. Throughout the whole Iron Maiden career, there's been like lots of physical changes in Eddie. What happened with Eddie now in the X Factor?
Well, he's not an illustration anymore. We kind of wanted to take him into another dimension. No, because, you know, so many changes. It's a different producer on this album, it's a different singer and everything. So I wanted Eddie to look really, really fresh, you know, because the feeling in the band is everybody's really positive and, you know, fired up about the music and everything. And we wanted Eddie to look the same way. So a guy called Hugh Simon, who's done a lot of the Rush album covers, we got him involved, and he, instead of doing Eddie as an illustration, it's actually a photograph of a real Eddie. And so that's what it was. I think it's kind of, it is shocking in a way, and some people have said it's a bit too strong to put in some of the mom and dad record stores. So we made it so there was 2 pieces of artwork that we couldn't decide which one was the cover. So we just put it so you could turn it over. So it doesn't matter what is on the cover, you get all of the artwork for the album.
Yeah, I do the same thing.
Yeah, so it doesn't matter where you get all the artwork. It's just that it gets in the shop. So it's worked out good. I think Eddie's very ferocious.
It's in a way, it's a new start for Iron Maiden. You just mentioned a point about the producer. It's the first time you work with Nigel now?
Oh, yeah, Nigel Green, yeah. In fact, he engineered Number of the Beast and Killer's album alongside with Martin Birch. So when we was going back in to record this album, we wanted really to have someone in that we kind of knew really, instead of somebody coming out, you know, from nowhere. So he was just the perfect guy to get in. He'd worked with Mutt Lange and he'd been working with AC/DC, so he was very good at getting sounds and in the studio. So that's what we wanted to do. And also the album wanted to have like sounding very fresh, very 90s. We wanted like a modern sounding album, yet still has the character of Maiden. And we feel we've done that with the X Factor.
Ya lo saben, The X Factor. Nosotros vamos a hacer una pausa, vamos a seguir con Iron Maiden, vamos a ver luego de la pausa un par de videos, entre otras cosas, Aces High, así que quédense, ya volvemos en Headbangers. Hey, seguimos en Headbangers junto a Dave, junto a Blaze, para hablar un poco de Latinoamerica. What do you remember about Latin American audiences when you played, when you went for promotion? What's the difference? What makes us so unique?
Oh, right. Oh, okay. The thing...
Bueno, como deben saber, Iron Maiden está de gira y lo estamos tomando acá. En un rato más van a estar tocando. Estamos en el bus de gira, que es un lugar bastante agradable, pero no tanto así cuando hay tantas cámaras y cosas pasando acá. Let's talk about your tour now in the States. Fear Factory is opening for you, which is a very good choice for an opening act. Very heavy, like in the vein of Iron Maiden. Do you personally choose? I mean, you have something to do with the election of the choice of the band that
Yeah, usually, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and it's like who's available, who has, you know, further an album out. And Fear Factory, yeah, we've been the perfect, you know, situation to come out with it. So, yeah, it's been really good.
So I think it's worked really well as well, because even though they've got quite an industrial sound, but I think the two bands complement each other really, really well, because Iron Maiden's really heavy and aggressive and melodic, and they're heavy in a slightly different way, you know, a bit more brutal in what they do. And so I think it's worked really well. They've gone down one of the best. We've had a lot of different support bands so far throughout the world, and I think they've probably gone down the best of all of them, really. Nice guys as well. Really
we
nice
heard that a band called Psycho Motel opened for you guys in...
Yeah, in Nottingham.
That's Adrian Smith band.
Yeah, Adrian's put a band together, and in fact the album's called Psycho Motel as well. Okay. And it's good to see him back out again, and he's going out on tour, and it's like we wish him all the best, you know. And,
that's perfect. And let's look at a little bit more about the X Factor. I mean, the music is in there. I mean, the lyrics are the subjects of the lyrics change a little bit, or it's the same Iron Maiden?
I think probably just by coincidence there seems to be a darker theme running through the X Factor, just because maybe what everybody was going through or whatever was going on around us at the time was just reflected in the lyrics and in the music and everything. It kind of looks at the darker side of human nature, the darker side of the human spirit. In that way.
Now you're on tour, on the bus tour. I've always wondered about, like, what kind of music do you listen while you're on tour? There's any names that caught your attention lately?
Well, Dave listens to the blues a lot.
Yeah?
Yeah, he's a massive... Probably what you don't know about Dave is that he can play incredible blues guitar as well. He's an awesome guitar player anyway, but when he plays the blues and starts getting these licks out, he's like, whoa, he's incredible. So I'm sitting up here I'm playing video games, right? I'm playing soccer or something like that on the video game, and at the back of the bus you just see these... some old blues guy. No.
Nobody would believe this is the Iron Maiden guy.
Yeah. I think in a way, because you know, we're playing, you know, live, breathe and sleep, you know, rock, especially when you're on tour.
Yeah.
So when you have a chance to, you know, wind down, you kind of listen to something, you know, completely different, if you like. So yeah, I prefer that, you know, blues stuff. But you know, we've got quite broad tastes in music, you know, everything from like classical to rock, you know, country and western, you know, both types of music. So we like pretty much everything, you know, we're quite open.
Now we're going to watch the video from, the old video from Run to the Hills. Are you playing that live?
No.
No?
No, thanks.
Oh, okay.
We can't fit them all in, can we? What else, you know, I'm afraid of what are we supposed to do? You know, we'll be there for 2 weeks, not 2 hours. If we play everything that's a great song by Iron Maiden, we'll never come off the stage.
That's true.
Ok, aquí va entonces para que la vean en video al menos. Esto es Run to the Hills. Bueno, en Headbangers ya nos vamos despidiendo, so thank you very much for your time. So we know, I mean, what the X Factor is all about. Any last word for Latin? This is Headbangers for all the Latin American audience. Metal is alive in Latin America.
That's correct. Yeah. And it is just about everywhere. We've been all over the world. Yeah, I think it's been good. Yeah, it's great.
We're looking forward to coming down to Latin America and playing for you some festivals this year.
We'll see you in August.
Okay, ya lo saben, vamos despidiendo de Headbangers. Thank you very much, Dave.
Cheers, thank you very much.
And
cheers.
Thank you, Blaze.
Gracias, hasta la vista.
Welcome once again, it's my welcome, okay? Nos vemos la próxima semana. Esto fue Iron Maiden en Headbangers.
For the enemies, I just want to feel our soul. We don't need a code of morality. I like all the mixed emotions in anger. It brings out the animal, the power you can feel. And feeling so high with this much adrenaline.